a bad battery, so I'm going to switch over in a bit.
We are live. Astral's just telling us he might have to go over to another. Was it your phone? But anyway, good evening, everybody. Today is the 3rd of April, 2018. So far on our panel today, we have Levkungfu from the UK, Patricia from the UK, Astral, an Englishman living in Denmark. We have Paul White from Spain, and he came on, it was last week now, wasn't it, Paul? And we have a new person on our panel today. You're muted. I can't hear you. A new person on our panel today, Kosta. And Kosta's going to talk about Constantine. So good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you,
And
Karen.
also, Kosta's from Cyprus.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
So it's actually nice to have some European people who are believing flat Earth.
Yeah. Flat Earth is... We are flat earthers. I think everybody is flat earther, but they don't know it yet. And then one day, the truth will come out, and everybody will understand this tremendous lies we've been told. And I would like to contribute a bit to this new information that's coming out. Well, thanks, Karen, and thanks to the listeners and to all the guys that are making the show. It's been really nice. I'm happy to hear you.
Yeah, you've become a flat earther quite recently, haven't you, Kosta?
So, excuse me?
You've become a flat earther quite recently, haven't you?
Yeah, recently I started looking at some like YouTube videos from people and that, and then Santos came along, and then another guy, Michael Tellinger, and everybody was talking, and then I saw that this is really powerful. I mean, and Crow 777, oh man, he's amazing. Yeah, I heard him. What was it, 2 or 3 nights ago?
We did on Saturday.
He's on Saturday again? No, he was on Saturday. He was on Saturday. Yeah.
And also,
yeah,
I'm very jealous because Kosta went to the pyramid up the road from me on Saturday, didn't you? And you went to Avebury in the Stone Circle.
Yes. I've been to that place.
Lovely, isn't it? You get such a nice feeling
there. Yeah, that was a pyramid. The Cebu Hill must have been a pyramid pre-Diluvian times, the time of Atlantis. And all those stones, like huge 60-ton stones, some of them from Wales. They brought them down, and they say that, okay, there was one guy there making the tour, and he was saying that it's 4,000 years old and all that. But I don't believe that. I don't believe any mainstream archaeology. I don't believe it.
If people don't understand, just to explain that Avebury is a stone circle, and then a couple of miles away is Silbury Hill, which everybody thought was a mound of earth for ages, happens to be one of the oldest pyramids in the world.
Yeah.
And there's not just that one. There's this Long Barrow, which is another weird bit of thing there. And then in Marlborough, at the town next to it, Marlborough, there's also a step pyramid there. I only found that out about 2 months ago. So there's another pyramid there, a smaller one.
A smaller one, okay. No,
yeah, that is a step.
It's big, it's huge. I mean, and what's left of it? Because I think most of it collapsed. It must have been maybe 1.5 times bigger. But it kind of came down.
You think so?
Yes. I saw some video for someone, and he was explaining about it. And then the stones.
Oh, I heard that because of the bed it's on, that slowly through its weight, it's sinking into the ground. But I didn't realise it was about 1/3 bigger. Wow.
Yeah. Somebody was explaining, but I saw a video like maybe a month or 2 months ago. And yeah, the thing is that it goes back a long time ago, and then the stones, they seem so eroded. One stone has like holes in it. There are some holes, and they look like they are man-made, but they are not. And what they are is from a plant that grows in the sea. Okay, so the stones were underwater at some point. And these plants, the way they grow, they put their roots in the stone and they make a hole. So can you imagine that? Water, and they were underwater for some time. And you can see on the stones this green stuff that they get when they're underwater. So definitely before Atlantean times. And most of them were on the floor, and they erected them. The same as Stonehenge. Stonehenge is not like we see it now. In the 50s, they put the stones up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've done a lot of research in the last few months, haven't you, Kosta?
Yeah. Research, okay, mostly videos and a few books that Santos said about astrology and the two Babylons. I'm reading now that one, the two Babylons, by Alexander Hislop, I think. Hislop is Alexander Hislop. And that one, what can I say? I'm gonna say a few stuff now that I'm reading. That's in the story I'm gonna tell you, because it's the same thing what they were doing in the times of Babylon and Nimrod, all that kind of religion. They had is the same thing with Christianity. I mean, the mother goddess, the baby, and similar. The 12 apostles, the birthday, the virgin birth, all that thing. It's just the same story. It's all a story of the sun.
Okay, I just explained to people that you want to talk about the story of Constantine, and you're going to explain what it is all about, what you see.
Yeah, basically, Constantine began his reign in York. Okay, he was the emperor of York. That was given to him from his father. His father was more like emperor of France, and then he came down. He conquered Rome, and he became like the Caesar and emperor. But then I want to talk about his mother mostly, Helen, when she had a vision to get the Holy Cross from the Holy Land, from Jerusalem. So in about the time, it was about like 325 after Christ, and they were in Constantinople, like Istanbul. They call it now Istanbul. You know the city. I mean, and that time they used to call it the city. I was in Hippolis. So like now we say, now the Americans, they say the city, they mean New York, yeah? So in those times when they said the city, they meant the Constantinople. Constantinople in English. And so she started from there. She took her guard. She was old, by the way. I think she was in her 80s. So she set up with some ships, with her guards. Imagine she was big personality. Imagine now the Queen of England now is like a baby with her compared to her. She was the queen of the Roman Empire. Big, very important person. And she set off to Jerusalem with her soldiers, the priests, everybody, to help her out. guide her. So they went with the ship there. They had to travel like a few days to go to Jerusalem, because you go to a port, maybe Haifa, and then they would definitely need 2-3 days to go to Jerusalem. And when they went there, they started searching for the Holy Cross of Christ. So I read this in a small book, by the way, from a monastery in Cyprus, because I was going to church that time. I'm Christian Orthodox, of course, and I was going to monasteries, talking with priests, and I wanted to find out about Constantine because of the same name we have and all that. I wanted to find the history, and that monastery I was going to is called the Monastery of the Holy Cross. It's on a big mountain. It's on the top of the mountain, and even the mountain is called Stavrovouni, so Mountain of the Cross. And up there, they're supposed to have a piece of the cross. So this is the story I'm telling you now. It's what I read in the book. Exactly. It's not. I don't have anything I don't put anything on my opinion or whatever. Okay. It's just how I read. I tell you. And I remember the story. Maybe I read it like 10 years ago, maybe more, but I still remember. So they went in some fields where they're supposed to be the cross of Christ, and there was a small young girl, like maybe 20 or 12 years old or something, and she knew where the cross was, okay, because she was told by her parents, grandparents or something, but it was a secret. It was a big secret. And there was a field that had a very nice scent, very nice smell, yeah. And there were lots of basil, the basil we use for cooking, the plant, the herb. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, basil. Basil.
Sorry, yeah.
You hear me?
Yes, sorry. I couldn't unmute
Basil,
myself quick
basil.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, basil. We're good. We're good.
Basil. Sorry, basil. Basil means Vasilias. It means king. Okay? The name Basil, it means king or royal king. Yeah? It got the name from that story because of the scent. It was so royal, let's say, and the cross was under there. They digged up and they found the cross, and they found the other 2 crosses. They found 3, basically. So the 2 were the thief and the other guy on the cross, and the one was the Jesus one. And they found also the 3 nails. The 3 nails that were on the cross. And they didn't know which one was which, yeah? They were not sure. So the priest that was there with them, they said, we have to test them. So there was a woman who just died, and they took the crosses there, and they touched each one of the crosses on her body. And when they touched her with the Holy Cross, she resurrected. She resurrected from the dead. So that's how they said that was a cross. Yeah. That was the sign that they found the original cross. And then later on, they were in the city, in Jerusalem, and they went to the temple of Aphrodite. It was in the middle of Jerusalem, inside the walled city of Jerusalem. And the cross came and like miraculously stood in front of the altar. In front of the altar of that temple of Aphrodite. And so they said, you know, this is it's a miracle. The cross is here. We have to make a church for Christ. Yes. So they have to convert the temple into a Christian one. And that temple is there now. Is a temple of the sepulchre. Sepulchre. I'm not sure in English now. In Greek is the temple of the resurrection.
Yeah, it's close that. It's called the Holy Sepulchre.
Sepulchre, yes. Sepulchre, yeah. Sepulchre, which is in Spanish, sepultura means like when you bury someone. A sepulchre. Yeah, did I say it right? Sepulchre. So
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit slow with that mute button. Yeah, that's correct. That's good. You're good. You're fine. Carry on.
okay. So that temple there now, if you see sometimes the temple of Solomon, you know, where the Wailing Wall, you know, where the Jews go and pray on the stones on the wall. Do you know that place? And on top is a Muslim a Muslim, not temple. What is it called? A Muslim mosque.
Mosque.
Do you know the place I'm telling you?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Where
it's the Dome of the Rock and the Western Wall in Jerusalem you're talking of, aren't you?
Oh, right.
Yeah. The Western Wall and the dome on top. So this temple of Christ, of the sepulchre, is just right next to it. So the three temples together in the same area, very small place. And it's like a pilgrimage. It used to be the pilgrimage of all the Christians. Is that one in Santiago de Compostela in Spain?
Yeah, can I just
It was a
interrupt you there as well? Sorry.
Yes.
It's actually all three religions. The Islam has also got
Yeah.
that mosque there as well, all within 100 or so meters of each other. The three religions. Yeah.
Less than 100 meters. It's all very close.
Very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
close
I went
together.
there. I went there to see it, like a pilgrimage. I went there. Yeah. It was like surprise. I mean, I thought they were, you know, separate. But it's all there, and there on the Wailing Wall, the western, that wall, the Jews is where the Temple of Solomon was built on top. So imagine a place. That's what happened then. That's why they went. Okay, let me finish the story, and then I give you my conclusion. So okay, they made the temple there, Christian temple, and they left, and then on the way to the city, to Constantinople, there was a storm, and they stopped in Cyprus. Okay, the ship stopped in Cyprus, and they came down, and again they found that they lost the cross. They couldn't find the cross from the ship, and they looked up in that mountain. I'm telling you, in that monastery I went, and the cross was up there in the mountain. It was flaming up there. They saw it in the mountain. They said, "Oh, miracle! Let's make another temple there, another church, another monastery." And she made even more monasteries in Cyprus from that time. And the other story, to finish off, she noticed that in Cyprus there were many snakes. She saw a lot of snakes around that were poisonous and dangerous. So she ordered like cats from the city to come to bring the cats to Cyprus in one area, so they can kill the snakes. And still now there's a monastery of the cats. If you ever go, there's a monastery and there's full of cats, and then Saint Nicholas of the cats somewhere in Limassol. That was the story of Saint Helen, that she brought the cats to kill the snakes. So yeah, that's about it. That's the story. But this story of the snakes is the same with Saint Patrick, isn't it? Then St. Patrick, a few years later, I think he was in the 400s somewhere, supposed to cast the snakes from Ireland. Yes?
I must admit, you probably know more of the stories than me.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what St. Patrick is famous for casting the snakes. So you see the connection there. Straight away, this is a conspiracy. The serpent people, the snake people, they're talking about is not actual snakes. That's the point. The serpent people were the wise, the enlightened ones, the true Hellenic wise Neoplatonic schools. That's what they wanted to shut down. That was going on. Plus, they wanted to get rid of the temples because they knew they were on certain ley lines, like Avebury, Stonehenge, everywhere, the pyramids, But all the temples were built on certain ley lines, and this one in Jerusalem, I think maybe it's the strongest in the world. I think it's very, very positive energy coming there, and they suppress the energy by doing this, and they somehow absorb it for them. This kind of rituals. So these are all, how to describe it? I mean, it's so malicious intents from psychic dictators, and what's happening then is happening now. There's not anything new. And we bring it up. I think it's time to see what's happening now. We are more connected around the world. We see things happening in the same area. The same thing. It can be. I mean, when I hear about the St. Patrick and the snakes, I said, what? Because I know the story with St. Helen. But the thing is, what is that? The snake. Who are the snake people?
I thought you were going to tell us.
Should I tell you? Basically, this is it's more what Santos is saying. It's all the Neoplatonic school, all the true Hellenic philosophers of the time that were following the true science, the natural law, that were teaching. The first schools that came out, like, were teaching mathematics, astrology, and music. Those were the first three sciences, let's say, that were teaching. And from then, that's what we have now, let's say, somehow. I mean, those were the first schools, and then what we have now, okay, now it's much totally different. It has nothing to do. Because people, they were looking mathematics like, they were looking up in the sky, they were looking at the stars, counting the stars, one star from the other, the sun, the moon, angles with the earth. And they said God was a perfect mathematician for them, because then they were counting the flowers, the pine cones, and all this, and everything was related. So they were looking at it a very different way. And in that time, the Roman Empire, they had like a crisis of this was growing, this knowledge and all that was growing, and they had to stop. And then they did all this stuff. I mean, Santo was saying, how many people were killed? I think it was like 30 or 40 million people killed for this. Like a genocide, even more. I don't know how they're still alive. Yeah, it was very, very terrible stuff. Sad story. But
I wasn't
no,
sure if you believe. I wasn't sure if you believed the story, though. It was a story.
it's a story. Yeah, of course, of course. How could they tell the people to make them believe? They had to find a story. And then all the relics, all the churches have relics. The bone of that guy, the tooth of the other one. I mean, in Rome, Saint Peter's Church, I think it has a skull of somebody, or Saint Peter, or the tooth. And the cross was the biggest relic. Imagine the cross. They found the cross. Wow, everybody was running after that, going for pilgrimages. Pilgrimage in Jerusalem, they were walking for like a month or even more. From Turkey now, before it was Greek, they were walking to Jerusalem, to that place, to that temple. It was a pilgrimage. And in Spain, they are still doing it now. And all
Yeah,
this
we noticed
Yeah.
Costa, we noticed on research that a lot of the pyramids have been sort of destroyed, and then the
Yeah.
churches are built on top of the pyramids, and that's why you get such a nice feeling when you're in the church. It's actually because they built it on a pyramid, one way
they
or
were on a
another.
ley line.
It's either buried underneath them, or they've built
Yeah,
on the ruins of one.
yeah, exactly. There was a ley line, or I would like to describe it like on the human body, like we have, the meridian lines, in Chinese medicine, where you have the acupuncture.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The earth is the same thing. It's a living organism with the same meridian lines and the points of the needle, the acupuncture needles, is the same. So these places where all these temples are and pyramids are the Earth's ley line magnetic fields, let's say. So they knew that they were there, and they wanted to take them. And they are suppressing all this energy. That's why we have this now, this negativity and everything. And we have to get this back somehow. It's like, that's why we're talking, yeah, but we have to start looking into solutions.
Paul might be able to help you out a bit there.
Paul.
Paul?
Yes, what
Paul
is doing with healing. I heard last time I saw him a bit. You are healing with your hands, something.
Yeah. Well, we were doing last week a bit of Jinshin Jitsu. I don't have the book with me right now, but basically it was grabbing your fingers for a while.
Yeah.
And just without pressing, and I would like to say again the different hours of the day in which they are more effective. You can use them anytime you feel like worried. The thumbs, index when you are afraid, when you're angry, your middle fingers, sadness for your ring fingers, and pretension for your pinkies.
Okay.
And the main hours would be from 8 to 12 thumbs, from 12 to 4 in the evening the pinkies, from 8 to 12 the index fingers, from 12 to 4 in the morning the middle fingers, and from 4 to 8 in the morning the ring fingers, which are some are related to different organs, and I said that in the previous hangout. What I'd like to share today, it's a small a chakra opener, a whole
Okay.
7 chakra open in
Could I
7.
could I just
can
say,
do it-
Paul? Paul,
Yeah.
I thought you were answering Kosta because he's just done a presentation. So I said to
Yeah.
you, because you understood about energies, you understand about all the energies. So do what you want to do in a little bit. But we were talking about Constantine. Can we just do that bit and then we'll go on to your energies? But
Sure,
as a
sure.
person,
My
you're also a
phone-
very sensitive person, and you've understood about all these energies. And I was just sort of like they're on a conscious level.
my phone went out of battery, so I missed the last bit what you were saying. So I just came.
Sorry, you're someone else who's understood about this consciousness, haven't you?
Yeah, but
Positive being. You're a very sensitive person, and you've understood about this consciousness that we're trying to aim for, because spiritual consciousness.
We must be aware of we are not alone. No man is an island, and we can we must be aware that all the our brother and sister which live around us, how they feel, and how we can help them by helping first ourselves. Just a matter of that. Energies are, we have a river of energy flowing around us constantly. As the blood runs over our body constantly, so the energy, which is not visible and it's ethereal like, and yeah, it's something to be very aware of. And when you let me, I'll show you some more tips and see how this joins with the talk today. Right?
I think what it is that Costa's basically been a flat earther for only so many months, but he's done some mega research, like eating it to death. It's made him look at history and all sorts of other things, where he's realised where we're controlled, where the lies are. And what he was trying to say was, now is the time we've got to try and do something. Is that what it was about for you, Kosta?
Yeah, I think that's my resume, let's say.
I have a question, if I may ask.
Yeah.
About how does Cesare Borgia relates to Constantine?
Sorry? How does?
Cesare Borgia. How
Cesare?
in the timeline does how Cesare Borgia relates to Constantine?
Can you tell me the name again? I didn't hear.
Cesare Borgia. It was
Borgia.
Borgia.
Borgia from Spain.
Yeah, from Spain and from Italy. They are both from the same Mediterranean, like.
Yeah, they're from the same bloodline, I think.
Oh, yeah. Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. And Borgia. I think King Juan Carlos of Spain now is a Borgia.
Is he?
I think, yeah. I'm not 100% because I'm not such a big scholar like others, but he's part of that. Yeah, because he's the king of Jerusalem, Juan Carlos. Yeah, he's from that bloodline. And
where I live, it's a big city called Gandia, which people say it should be if history was in another way, Gandia is a city very nearby here, would be the Vatican, in fact, because the Borgia were all living there. That city is full of statues of Borgia. All of them.
But where? Gandia is in Valencia?
Yeah, Valencia, Gandia. It's.
Yeah, I know. I passed from there. There's a big rock close to the sea.
Yeah, that is Denia or Ifak.
Denia, yeah, Denia.
Yeah.
So you are close to Valencia?
Yeah, I live in Valencia. This is Valencia. This is
No way, really. I did my chef course there.
Wow.
Have you seen the fire yet?
Yeah. Well, I'm pissed off of the fires. It's all full of fireworks, and it feels like you are in a war zone.
War zone, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. They do a big festival in Spain now in the 19th of March last month. One of the biggest in Spain, and it's all to do with the sun. It's a celebration of the sun, of the light. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, in Cyprus we do bonfires as well. Now in Easter, we do the same thing.
Where in?
In Cyprus.
Where you are.
No, I'm in Bristol. I live in the UK, but I come from Cyprus, and there every Easter, so like this time of year, they do the same bonfires on Sunday,
Yeah.
on Easter Sunday.
They do it too. It's a tradition, an ancient tradition. They used to burn old furniture.
Yeah.
To start to symbolize a new beginning.
A new beginning and all that. Yeah.
Right.
And the La Mona
La Mona
with the egg. Yeah.
That's the egg in your head.
Yeah. We do something similar again in Cyprus. We have something similar, with red eggs. We paint the eggs red.
Yeah.
And this is something they used to do in the time of Babylon in Egypt. It comes from that time. Yeah, it's very old.
The egg symbolizes the soul. Is it?
Yeah, the egg is like fertility and Mother Nature. Yeah, that's what it represents.
Hey, people, there's one thing you should try to these Chinese balls.
Yeah. Super.
They're healing.
Yeah. I used to have those. Yeah.
You can see them. Can add more. Great. Something like juggling too.
Juggling. Yeah.
I have I wanted to say something to Patricia because she told me she had very little mobility to practice, the thing with the laughing posture. I said you have to put one hand on your foot and the other in your groin. Remember last day? But if you don't reach with your hand your foot, you can use your other foot to put it in the like this. You see, your foot are also your hands.
Yeah, it's the same.
They work the same. If anybody is listening, it's good.
I'll give that a go, Nicole. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, somebody's been thinking about you, Patricia.
I know, it's lovely, isn't it? Thank you.
I knew the answer, but it didn't came to me that moment.
So anyway, as we asked, I know that Paul wants to do some bits in a minute, but as we asked you, like you wanted to come on and talk about Constantine, what does this all mean for you then, Kosta? You explain it then, because obviously you realise you want things to change. You realise we've been totally lied to. That most things are like some kind of communism.
Yeah, for me, let's say two parts. Yeah, one is my esoteric thinking, my connection with the divine, and all that. Yeah, that's my personal thing. But then there's also the outer world. What's going on? I mean, it's my responsibility to fix my personal connection with God. Yes, that one is purely mine. I cannot have someone to hold my hand and take me there or something. But the other hand, the outside is it's influencing, and I think the change I'm making for myself, I'm trying to do it in a way that people can see this light. I'm going to transmit this light somehow and help this situation. Because you know what happened there at Silbury Hill when we went. At the end, we were supposed to see the sun going down, okay, and on the other side, the moon coming up. It was a full moon, but it was cloudy, raining. You couldn't see anything. And the person that was making the walk, he said, we were all gathered, and as you can see here, he said, and you all know that the sun is going around the earth, okay? Everybody was laughing, started laughing, but laughing, you know, a lot. You know. And I was like, what? I stopped. And I wanted to say something, but I was, you know, I didn't want to speak. And then he continued talking. I didn't want to be in the way, you know.
So you felt they all knew? You felt they all knew?
Sorry?
You felt they all knew the truth?
Yeah, you had to be more.
I said.
I should say something.
You felt like they. Yeah. You felt like they knew the truth.
That they knew the truth. Yeah.
About
the other
sun
group
and us.
No, I didn't get it. What did you say? Tell me again.
I said that
Yeah.
you're with these people,
Yeah.
knowing you're a flat earther. You felt that maybe a lot more of them were much more clued up than you thought they were going to be.
Yeah, they had no idea. It was, you know, there was all the everyday people. You know, that they follow the same thing that they were told. That's it. So everything there that he was telling us, I think it was all a lie, except some facts he was saying about some stones that they were on the floor and they lifted them up, and at some point there was a church there in the 1300s, and they were breaking the stones to build a temple. And they were burying them. Most of the stones were buried and all that. Okay, that was the only truth, but the rest. Yeah, but you know how it's out there. If you say something about this, everybody starts laughing, ridicule you, and
yeah, you have to be more subtle. I was trying to say that the best way, I think, is to, if you want to talk, first talk about the moon landing, how the hoax they were, and then if they listen to you, you can go on. If not, it's pointless.
Yeah, that's it.
Actually, I tried telling someone today, and I was probably, it wasn't that I was bullish, but in a sense, like you say, you have to do it gently. I was probably bullish then, but I wasn't shouting at them or anything. And they said,
yeah, people are.
I don't know what to say. They said, I don't know what to say. They were like, it completely freaked them.
No, for me, the way I see it, like if you go on a balloon or something, you go up, okay, and you are hovering above the earth, yeah, in a high altitude, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet. I don't know how high they can go. So if you stay there for hours and hours and the earth is stable, shouldn't it move a bit? I mean, just a little bit or something. There's no proof of any movement at all. Nobody can prove that it's moving. There's no proof. If they prove that to me, I can start changing my mind. But they can't. And gravity, there's no proof. was the gravitons.
He is still slightly in shock about it all because you think, oh, flat Earth is one thing, but by the time you've finished, you've become a scientist, everything you can think of, a mathematician. There are things that you've looked into that you never thought you'd be looking into.
Yeah.
Who said that?
In fact, it's like the new, the emperor's new dress.
Yeah.
We've all been thinking we were watching a new dress with the ball, and it's we've never seen it, and it's painful to admit that you've never been watching it and you've believed it. So patience. Flat Earth makes you be
Patience.
really patient with people.
Yeah, that's because they keep turning around and telling us we're crazy. When it's actually the other way round, and they've only got to think. It's people don't think enough. Because, I mean, you can hear by Kosta what he's doing now. He's looked into all this history, and he's got more books he's probably read, and the information that he's taking in. And now you're looking at it from a different point of view.
Everything links in. It's like which day we were talking about the avocado. Remember? 2 nights ago.
Oh yeah.
I was saying about the avocado and the map. In the same moment I was cutting an avocado to eat. All this stuff happens to me all the time. So I think this is for me. I find it positive. It's some conscience talking to me somehow. And
yeah, and I started off by, even that video, I just started off actually making the video on a positive note, because I was relieved that at least there was some other different people talking about flat Earth and doing experiments and stuff like that. Because I was going through it, I wanted to put like, say, 30 seconds of me and play the video, and then it turned into 14 minutes of me, and I thought, so the video. And when I actually was looking to get the video up to make a sort of response, everything was going mirrored. That was it, just mirrored. But when I went back a few days later, it was this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. So I was actually quite tame, because I didn't want to upset people, because we want some proof now. We're sick of being lied to. Couldn't just one person come along and tell the truth? No, there has to be this whole list of weird things behind this set of people. So you can't even agree with that, because now they look extremely weird. And then it's a bit like a couple of people have completely debunked their videos of things like, it's embarrassing. And it's like, couldn't for a change some real test be done and it really was the truth? But no. Just another psyop to make, just another shape to bring in, just another set of whatever it is instead of being the truth. It's a bit disappointing, really, but that's the way it goes. But in our hearts, we know. So I suppose it doesn't matter about all that.
Exactly. That's what I think. And because
not everybody's still on the same quest, though, by the way, because I saw Flat Earth as something that was about all of us coming together, that we started to care about each other as people, that we didn't have to lie to each other anymore. And in fact, it's almost like finding a set of people who are on the same frequency as you.
Yeah, that's
But I still think that a lot of people haven't noticed that they're still, unfortunately, living from the globe. The way they're living, everything they think and feel is globe talk rather than, I don't know, this consciousness thing. I can't help it. It's just there. It's been there since I was a child.
Yeah. The thing is to do these videos, these talks, and sharing stories from other parts of of the earth, people traveling and seeing that. So slowly it will become bigger. At the point to bring it to the state of the government and say, this is it, we have to change all the books and all that, and then it gets serious. That's why you need something strong. You know what I mean? Some
It is a real
organization.
strange place to be, isn't it, though, when you think that we know that space is fake and they're
Yeah.
pretending every
Yeah.
day, keep throwing that in our faces every day. And then, I think there's maybe more than they say, but I still thought more people would openly be waking up now. Because if we did it, then why can't everyone else? Why can we see it? Why can't they see it? Why doesn't it make sense to them? Then, but it didn't quite grow like that. But maybe there are more of us. Maybe, like you said, you went out on that walk. What it was is generally you felt when you said the sun does this and that, they were laughing because they know it's not real. So maybe there are more flat earthers. They're just a bit quiet. I mean, where do we go? Where do we go? Who do we go to? Everywhere you go as a flat earther on these kind of things, they make it really difficult. I mean, Facebook's tried to kill flat earth groups.
So where do you think most flat earthers are? Like in the States and England and Europe, and then what about the rest of the world? You think that's worldwide now? It's moving about.
I think you're going to struggle with some of the like South American kind of countries, only because the only reason more of us maybe helped to wake up is that we did get the mobile phones and we did get the P900s. A lot of these poorer countries, they just they just won't have all this. I suppose Marlena from the Micmac tribe in Canada, she grew up knowing we were flat, unless it's in their history, their family history or their group, their tribe history, then they're not going to know, are they?
Really? She grew up like that?
She grew up only knowing we're on a flat plane. There've got to be other tribes, people, cultures who feel the same. Just don't talk about it for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I don't know, but yeah, it's a really weird thing because we're sitting on a hangout. We're all sitting in different countries, some of us on different time zones, and we're talking about something that's really sort of special that should be with a group of people, and we're having to share it and do it on a hangout. But I'm just wondering, do people in the chat room, this sort of flat earth thing to you, is it a spiritual thing where you do feel that it's a consciousness thing and a different way of being, that we're kinder and we don't have to worry about ego is different. You can leave it at the door. You just want to, I know at times people will set parameters, but this consciousness, to me, it's just a different way of being. It's not worrying about egos and I don't know, but we're not there yet, even as flat earthers, I don't think. Because somebody else always knows better or whatever it is. It's quite a lot of weirdness that goes on in the flat earth scene. Maybe flat earth gets used. I just well, I suppose because they've lied about NASA and stuff, haven't they? They've lied about NASA. They said they've spent millions of dollars doing all that, so they can't go back, can they? They can't pretend it's something else because they've done all that.
Exactly.
Pardon?
Kosta, you do sun gazing?
Sorry?
You do
Sun gazing?
Do you?
Yeah, when I have time, when there is sun, because here it's very cloudy. But when I have a chance, I do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure you do it because it's cool.
Yeah. So where did you do this, the hand healing and all that?
What technique is it? Is it Chinese or?
Well, if you want to listen to the chakra opener with Jinshin Jitsu, it's a quite easy practice. You can do it lying in bed in the morning, and it helps mind and heart. If you do it for 15 minutes or more, if you feel like doing it, you're feeling great. You can expand it, and it's amazing. Let us start. I will just do a few breathings in each point. So for the purpose of the beat, people can rewind and see where the position is. First will be here, left hand in your eyebrows, between your eyebrows,
Yeah.
the two fingers, like this. This is amazing for your memory. I said in the last hangout that in this position, I could I could stay like this on the desk. So it could, in my exams of the music history, without studying very much, I get very good marks. Very
Mm,
good marks, best
okay.
in my life. Like this for a while, that's awesome for memory. And I would like to say too that as 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 flatters, it also happens the same with time. Time doesn't exist, not as we are
Yeah.
told. So you can remember by doing this not only the past but the future. Yes, it's not all that strange. You know, you have insight sometimes of things going to happen from the future. Well, this would be the first, your right hand there, and without any moment, your right hand will be there all the time. It's the left hand that changes. So after memory point between your eyebrows, the next point would be in your nose. You see, and
Mm-hmm.
that this one is awesome for your healthy sexual life. Okay, this improves your stamina in the area of your of, of sex.
Mm.
It's, the nose, it's strange, but it works. Honestly, it works. Then the next one would be here, an important point in Jinshin Jitsu. It's called the perfect adaptation. It's called the point 22.
Okay.
And Jay had something to say the other day. It was very, very nice too. The next one will be in your heart. The next one here in your under your lungs, in your stomach area, in your right side. And the last point is when both hands change and the right leg in your groin, touching your pubic bone there, and your left to your the sacrum. It's called the sacrum bone. You understand that?
Sakura. Yeah, Sakura. Like a triangle.
And that's it. Stay for each point as long as you feel the energy uh, running, and you tell me, how does it feel? It takes a lot patience when you start to feel and to get in the mood of how the energy works. But once you feel it for a week or two, you become you can practice with all the 26 points of Jinshin Jitsu, and even you can develop new things, a different point with another point, and find the most useful, which are for many things, for panic attacks, fear, anxiety, and chaotic situations, anger. Anger would be here. Loving your enemies would be just in your tits, in your tits, and it's also good for your hearing. If you have hearing problems, you should put one hand in the opposite teeth of the the ear that it's you have problems with, and the other hand there in your neck, and stay there. That for hearing problems would be. Also for hearing problems, it's grabbing your ring finger.
Okay.
A few tips
Thank
on
you.
these things. Good thing about Ginseng G2, you can apply it in everyday life, in a queue, in places where we normally go, and I don't know, it's not all that difficult to grab one finger and stay like that. What else should I say? I would like to say too about the Atlantean ring. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
The Atlantean ring.
Yeah.
I'm wearing 3 right now, and
Yeah.
they have. It's you can check in internet the history. It's the man who discovered it was something Carter, man who discovered Tutankhamun's grave.
Yeah.
He was the only survivor in one of these.
Okay.
And yeah, you have to. Each finger is for one purpose too, and for example, I am wearing now the action finger. If I wear it while I sleep, I wouldn't sleep as well. I have to change it. It's because this might sound like the uh, those things they were selling, the hologram, this bracelet or the hologram,
Yeah.
but I do wear them and I feel it. You can find out yourself if you like.
It can be a ring. Okay, I will check. How do you call that technique?
It's called
Sorry, I couldn't
Jin.
unmute myself. Do you know something? The chat room are saying some quite nice things, Paul. And I would say I was feeling a bit stressed out about something before I came on air. But after listening to you and like what the chat room are saying, I feel much better now. I'm just listening to you talk about it.
The what? I can't see the chat room. I can't see it. I don't know why.
Oh, you just got a very calm voice.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Thank chat room.
Hey, John the Morgul's in the chat room as well. Shout out to him.
My guy.
Hey. So what got you into all of this then? Because you're quite like juggling, healing.
I felt there was some energies. I went to yoga centers to practice yoga, and the more I was into it, I started to meditate, and I started to feel the chakras and places where energy is located. First one I noticed a lot. It's the point between your eyebrows. That it's very much you tend to feel it more the less sugar you eat and the better food you eat, and if you do some spiritual practice, a bit of meditation, sun gazing, and many others, which are qigong, tai chi, kung fu too. So I went to India and tried to learn better meditation and a practice called Diksha, which is healing with your hands in your to other people in people's head. You put place the hands in people's head, and it goes in the line of Reiki, and it's for self-growing. To overcome past troubles and to face life without fear and without doubt, and just be happy. That would be pretty much it. But there's more. There's more, and Jinshin Jitsu, it's very practical, and it there are many other postures that will make you understand how life is. By example, as I said before, the points in the fingers, how they change during the day, it's very, very intense in the body. So it's mysterious. And for the same reason, very fascinating for me.
You mean because we can heal ourselves?
Yeah, you can heal yourselves and you can heal others by healing yourselves first. You enter in a dynamic situation when you don't have to, you are very intuitive, and you can tell someone else, you can sense someone else feelings just by looking in, gazing in their eyes, and not using too body language, which speaks much more than words. That is a very interesting topic too. I investigate because of this television series Lie to Me. Has anybody heard of it? And Paul Ekman's work on micro movements of the face, which are the real ones, because we tend to hide our real gesture and face in the face. It's as we have been taught this way. So the real ones are the ones who are very micro seconds. Those are the real ones. And to put it in perspective, you wouldn't believe as a real one a soap opera, these faces, or like, they are very tiny, and they are true because of that. And to sense them in yourself it's such a meditative practice, which will help you to know yourself and others better.
Yeah, it's quite nice hearing a man say that.
Thank you. Paul Ekman, check out his work, because it's a very interesting. There's a book. Also, the first stage in the series, Lie to Me, Tim Roth was on it. It's great. Then it became very, full of too violence, free violence. We call it. The content was not all that good, not all that food for your mind. It was more sensationalist, I would say. Yeah. So first chapters, great. Then leave it and leave the television. Forget TV.
Is your whole family like this, or is it just you?
No, it's just me. Just me. My sister likes it. She tends to hear, even my mother. My mother she likes to hear, but she's not as enthusiastic as me in this sense. Yeah, it's
Okay, can I ask Costa? Costa, do you have many people
Yeah.
to talk to about flat Earth?
No. I told my kids one day just to make them realize what's going on.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You wake up and you understand all this stuff, and in a sense, it makes you more on your own because nobody around you believes you, or just thinks whatever, it's not important to them or whatever. And actually, for you now, it's become very important.
Yes, because I start
yeah,
you know,
it's
talking
true.
to someone that I know or that I work with. I think they just don't care anymore how to explain. I see people they do their own life and personal life. They just don't get involved with much something more, something interesting like even history or this. They say conspiracy theory, which is not. Why they repeat they hear one word and they repeat the same word like a parrot. You know, they never look at it. Why is it a theory? What's a theory? What does a theory mean? They hear one word and they repeat the same word like a parrot.
We can hear the playback.
Yeah, why? Look, why is it a theory? What's a theory? What does it mean? Why is it coming
Paul,
again?
I think it's Paul.
Yeah.
Paul's playing. You can hear the playback, Paul.
Yeah, if you say conspiracy truth, isn't that better? Even flat Earth, it's a plane, planet. The moon, what is the moon in Greek? You know?
It's not a conspiracy, though, is it? Flat Earth. I mean,
What?
it is real.
What?
Flat Earth. The whole thing about flat Earth and everything in it so far, with the lies from government, this the whole thing. It's horrible. It's not a conspiracy, is it?
No, conspiracy is what they are doing. The flat Earth
Yeah.
is true. I mean, the other conspiracies that's going on around, and when the people hear about this, they immediately like frame it into the conspiracy theory box or wherever, and they reject it immediately. They don't do research. Like people like Santos or David Icke, you talk about them, and they say no, these guys they don't know anything. And they never read a book. They never heard them talking because somebody else said that. I mean, it's a whole culture thing. I think it's a whole. I don't know how to describe it. It's such a mind control thing that it's incredible, really, what they can do to the psyche because it's people they know how to bring this about. It's like the Avatar movie. Remember the Avatar? You watched the Avatar movie?
Are you still slightly in the shock stage, though? Not quite shock, but because you've not been a flat earther for that long, have you? And when you actually realise the depth and length of the lies, it is a bit shocking, isn't it? Even I today can't get my head quite round the fact that there's just so many lies.
Yeah, and like the moon, for example. The moon in Greek is called Fengari. It has more names. Well, one of the names is Fengari. Okay, Fengari means shining, glowing. So the moon has a light of its own. It's not a reflection of the sun. Because the sun light is yellow. How can it reflect that white light? Yeah. How does that happen? So the moon has its own light. It beams itself. And what is
Lying about
what?
how far away it is. They're lying about everything.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie after lie. Yeah. And what you asked Crow that night? I heard that question you said to him about his lenses that he's using to focus on the moon. And I saw another video. Somebody was zooming in a place in a city, and I think it was Chicago. And you could see the building and the like the name of the building on top or something. If you could just zoom exactly to see it, I think it was 40 miles. I'm not sure, somewhere there. And then he zoomed in on the moon. You could see the same, how close it was. It was exactly the same with that building. So he said it can be 600,000 miles away. There's no way. It's much, much closer. So I think
Yes.
what you said with Crow,
Ridiculously that much closer.
yes. What you said with Crow, I think it was a very good question. And he should look into it. And you know what? Another thing I was thinking when you said that, what if we project something like a strong laser beam on the moon, and this guy is filming, somebody's filming it at the same time, and if you see the spot, if you see the spot showing on the moon, it means it's much closer. You understand my point? You remember those lasers we had some years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago? Like a small, like a torch, it was a laser beam and it would go far away. Something like that, but something stronger.
Yeah. Somebody telling us the truth and doing like stuff that, you know, well, I don't know. Maybe we would never believe that anymore. Maybe that's what all this is about, though. Even that the new map, just to make it even more complicated.
A new map.
Yeah.
What
The avocado one.
Which one is it?
The avocado one. Yeah, that's a new map, isn't it?
I didn't see it anywhere.
I mean, that couldn't just be the truth, could it? It's just another sort of set of lies.
Yeah,
But like how does it look like? I didn't see it. The avocado map. Is it online?
Lev, did you want to say something?
Yeah, the convex map. I'm just going to think, is it put out there for us all to tear apart and waste us time on? That's what it kind of feels like, in a way. But yeah, that's all. So.
Yeah, it seems like it probably. Anyway, we're all here for that reason, aren't we? Because, you know, we can see through a lot of this stuff. It's just so weird, isn't it? How some of us see so much clearer than others. And then, yeah, labelled the wacky people when actually we can see the truth and what they're doing. And it doesn't resonate, does it? It's the wrong frequency. I'm just baffled by the history line, the pyramid people and stuff like that.
I believe something big is coming, something big is approaching.
Well, that's what you feel.
I feel it's like a river, you know, a big river coming with force, like a spiritual river. It's going to wipe everything out. Something's going to change on the
What, in all of us?
In all of us, yeah, in all of us.
Oh, what a good thing that this river's
good
coming
thing,
and
a
it's
good
going
thing.
to. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, in a good way, in a good thing. That's why they're making all this mess, all the chemtrails, all the food poisoning, all that stuff. Because they don't want us to raise the consciousness. Tell me Aquarius,
Do you know,
something,
I don't
something.
want to I don't want to poo-poo anything, you know, like about any kind of war that anybody. But the First and Second World War, people were being told information days later. You know, they got us actually watching the wars live and even watching the Twin Towers come down. I thought that would be enough for to make the people would start to change after that, because life's so precious, really, and so forth like that. But it didn't. We didn't get a night. But then the laws have been changing and things as well above us. But it didn't make us a nicer set of people. It just.
Yeah, there could be something bad as well. There could be a big war or something. But it's not going to last for a long time. Something will come, something big will come and wipe them out. Okay, that's what I want to believe. Because it's too much. I mean, why are there only, say the courts, for example, yeah? Why is there any why can't we make another type of court and take these people who lie to that court and judge them? You know what I mean? Why is it only like one official court around courtyard? I think we have to do something big. But we have to be organized, just like them. Let's sit down and make a lot of study and make it like underground. Because like now we're like scattered. We have the knowledge. We see what's going on, but we are still just all over the place. If we want to do something big change, it must be the way they do it somehow. You have to hit them back. You have to know your opponent before you go in the battle. But this flat earth thing to hand is a big part. It's one of the biggest. Okay. Say one day, okay. Let's suppose current a few years, everybody accepts, okay, the earth is flat. But if everything is the same, the governments and all that doing the same, so what's the point? It must be on a collective level, on everything. But how to do it, I don't know, like one thing at a time, everything together. It's many questions. Do we need some government? Do we need somebody there telling us what to do all the time?
Yes, well, we all want this change to come, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
Sooner the better, really. But it's a big thing to do, isn't it? All we can do is just start coming together.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what you think as well, isn't it, Lev?
Yeah, I think so. I just think it's it's taking time, innit? You know what I mean? We just got to deal with that kind of where we are in time. Like in 5 years' time, it'll only seem like 2 seconds when we get to that point. And if it did change at that point, that we have succeeded in, I don't know, making us point, I suppose, and everybody's woke up at that point, then, like I say, it's only been, you know, it'll only feel like 2 seconds. But at the moment, I just kind of think, just enjoy the journey of where we are. And the more we enjoy ourselves, the more people will see it and enjoy it with us. I kind of think. So if people are enjoying themselves, people think, oh, I want to, you know, but it brings up people's curiosity and stuff. So, I am enjoying it, really. It is. It's just everyone else is waking up. There's some people which have got too much of a problem with their ego, and then just not going to look at it at all, and they're going to ignore it until everyone else has woken up. They'll be like the last few people stood around, still believing in the ball, determined that it's a ball, but everyone else will have woken up. I'm glad I'm not one of them people. I kind of feel sorry for them, really. But I've met other people which are kind of like borderline, and you know, they've become open-minded to it, and stuff like. So it's definitely different from a couple of years ago. Like nobody had heard of it, and then a year ago, some people had heard of it, and some people ridiculed it and stuff like. And now there are some people which are totally against it, and some people which are partially open to it, and then there are a lot more people actually making videos, and it doesn't. I think it does take a lot to cross that boundary of making videos and stuff. And also, there's only a certain portion of people which actually like YouTube. Like a lot of people watch TV every day, you know what I mean, and they're not hearing what we're saying and stuff like. But in time, it spreads. Some people go on YouTube for a bit and then go back to TV. Might go on to TV for days, and when the couples also see it going on here, and you know, yeah, but most I kind of think, how can you, where have you been if you've not heard of it by people that have not, which is crazy, but but I think it'll change for a good thing. I think I'm hoping so anyway.
Yeah, but at least we're all thinking differently, aren't we? Because, you know, the other way you think differently, and this way you start, it's just different. I felt like this since I was a kid. It's just myself, this, whatever it is. Don't you? Was it the same for you? I don't think this is something that's just come to us all right now. We felt like this as children. We knew as children. It's just that the globe life got in the way. I mean, no one could be perfect, can they? 24 hours a day. There are going to be days where you get in moods and huffs. But like listening to Paul, you know, I don't know. I don't mean to put this into like countries, but over here in England, it's stiff upper lip. And, you know, we often like we would say that, you know, I know Astral's not here, but Danish people are quite open about their feelings, you know, about things. It seems that European countries, they talk more in the first place to their families, the whole thing.
Yeah.
People in England don't do that. Generally, the English, they just, it's, you know, no one talks to each other anymore. We've got to get back to that. And I think that's what I like about Paul. He likes talking, and he's understood, he's understood a lot of things. Yeah. And we just, right now, I suppose we've got to come together, haven't we? And maybe try and draw more people somehow. Because we've got to do this peacefully. You know, in a world that's not peaceful, and how everything's set up wrong. It's like watching It's like being in that film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, except we're not going to Mars. But we're just in the same film. He's just not going to Mars. Everything's fake. The thing is, we were watching the films and going, ha ha ha, see, they're living in a fake world, and ha ha, but actually we're living in the fake world.
Yeah.
It's a bit bizarre,
You know what?
really.
You know what? I like, which film I like a lot? That the Truman Show. Yeah,
Truman
Yeah.
Show.
you've seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember his life since he was born. He was on camera, and others were watching. Yeah, in another place. Was it like that, like a reality show?
I say it's all a TV show, isn't it?
It was like a TV show, but it wasn't in the city where he was living. I think it was in another place. Is that right?
It was like an area which had been and based that everybody in there were in on the joke kind of thing, like
Yeah, everybody there wasn't
and he
on
was
the
the only
joke.
person who didn't
Yeah,
know.
but
Kind of.
but the show was shown in another place. There was some bars and places and people were watching it every day. It was always on TV 24 hours. And then there was this guy on top that was watching, like the Big Brother or something. He was making the montage, the cast, of, with the crew up there. He was making all the shots where how it was supposed to be shown. So what I think is that maybe they also doing this on us. That there's some kind of show them, and then they are showing us in other places, in other planets or something. And they're waiting for us to make that move to go out, like Jim Carrey did at some point. He went in the sea to, to try to escape.
Well, that's what I'm saying at the moment. Where is there we can go? I mean, if anybody could have told the truth about being on a flat plane, it would be Mr. Trump, wouldn't it? Because he knows he's got an aeroplane of his own. And out of everybody, he's one of the people that seems to have hinted. And he knows about like 9/11 and stuff like that. So you would have thought that maybe he'd have come along and saved the day. So there isn't really anywhere to go, is there?
Yeah, but because if you want to go to Antarctica with a ship or something, you're not allowed.
I mean, everything could be a lie, couldn't it? Even how they, this HARP thing. But every country that's got that is in on it, and it's everywhere. And I think they've got everybody so apathetic. There's nothing. Why can't they do two newses on the television? One with all the horrible things in it, and one with all the nice things in it. Maybe more people were watching the nice things, the happy things. There's nothing nice. And it doesn't help in the UK, does it, Kosta? Because we don't see the sun that much, do we?
Yes, the sun. Yeah. No, here your news here.
The sun makes things bad. Maybe that's why Paul's so happy, because every day he's got the sun around him, whereas we don't see the sun. We just see clouds.
Yeah, you see that
I can't believe how much clouds.
That's influencing, but I think it makes you think deeper, because you pass through all this thinking about the summer, the winter, how to pass the winter. It makes you more tough and tough-minded. Whereas in Mediterranean, we don't care. We live, for the day, and tomorrow we live for tomorrow. It's a bit different mentality. Also,
but it's pretty grey here, though, isn't it? I mean, I can't believe.
I noticed at the night, there was the clear nights. Yeah, the sky, when I see the stars, they are much better outside. Believe me. And I don't know where my house is. It's this location. I can see the Orion belt, serious tone. I see it very clearly, and I watched the movie. It's fascinating. I like it a lot. I never thought
I know,
about
it's like
before.
you're a child again when you get to Flat Earth, because there's so much to learn, and most of us, I'm sure, on the chat room and everything, have all eaten the Flat Earth, or eaten information.
Yeah, that's it.
Like every day, it just goes on and on and on, and even when you actually think you might understand something, you have to watch it another 10 times just to make sure that loads of other people might be saying the same thing.
Yeah. Is there a flat Earth society in the UK?
Hey, Paul, are you there? Where's he gone? Paul. Paul. Is he still there? I'm sure, though, being somewhere that's sunny more makes you feel a bit better. No chemtrails in the sun.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if you've got the sun every day, you probably don't sit out in it every day. But it makes everything look different when it's sunny out there. Maybe that's because we get so many grey days.
Yeah, maybe. Is there any Flat Earth society in the UK?
Sorry, say that again. You are a tiny bit muffly for me, Kosta. I don't know if Lev hears you the same. Do you hear him the same?
Yeah, I'm sure it weren't as bad as that at the beginning.
No.
Is it better now?
We've always got to have a bit of technical problems when we come on. There's always got to be something. Some little thing. Speak now, then.
Is there a Flat Earth society in the UK?
Oh, that's better. Flat Earth Society.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big organisation, isn't it, on its own? There's the UK convention coming up in 2 or 3 weeks' time in Birmingham.
Yeah, they're going to talk about this.
Pardon?
Is that on the 7th? Is that a meet-up which is happening on the 7th? I know
No,
there's
it's a
one somewhere
convention.
going up on the 7th.
You buy tickets, you get lunch and stuff like that. I think Dave Murphy, Nathan Oakley, Dave Marsh, Martin Leakey. There's a few more. Kenny, I can't remember his second name is now. Connor. I can't say his second name, but he's going. Speakers, and it's happening 2 or 3 weeks in Birmingham, 20-something of April. Tickets go to Gary John is his name on Facebook. But Costa, a few years ago there weren't any kind of meetups, and now there's a convention. There are meetups. I mean, I think Dave Murphy was at one yesterday or today in England, so there was a meetup there. So these things are actually happening. Lisa on my Facebook, she has meetings near Glastonbury.
Glastonbury.
There is more happening, but it's just not happening on the mainstream, is it? I think we'd all freak ourselves if we woke up and the news said, "Hey, revelation, the earth is flat." None of us still would believe it.
They will not believe it,
They can't because of all this stuff with NASA. They can't go back on all that. It'll be the end of governments for sure. Who's going to believe a government after listening to NASA lie? The thing is, when you're in the lie, you see it just like it is. But when you realise the lie, you realise how stupid it all was. when you're in it, it made sense. Because that's what you're told and that's what you've grown up with and so forth. I mean, some of us had ideas things weren't right, and that's what led, lots of people don't look up 9/11 whatsoever, or if they did, they do 2 minutes, they're gone. Some of us spent like months and months and months and months on it because of lies.
I think someone finds one of the oldest things. I am. Can you hear me well?
Sorry, Kosta, it's got a bit fuzzy again.
It's fuzzy again, yeah, I don't know.
Hello?
Hi. You okay now?
That's okay. Yeah. Or you could hold the phone up to your ear anyway. No one can see you, so put the phone closer to your mouth.
Yeah, no, I have a Bluetooth in my ear. I'm speaking.
Well, that's better now.
Yeah. So for me, the 9/11 was a big thing. That's when I first started. Since I came to the UK, I started watching videos about that, and then I started, waking up, realizing what's going on. That was very important. And then, one thing led to another. I started watching Santos and the other, David Icke. And it's a lot of information out there. I mean, somebody who wants to do real change in his life, to see that things are not like they show and what we are told. So that's the only way, individually, one by one, and then something big. We have to throw away a lot of things that make us like boundaries. What are these boundaries? Why we have countries and borders and all that? Cyprus,
You
a
said
small
this
island,
bit about the ley lines. Talk a bit more about that, Costa, about the ley lines. You were saying that they built all these church. Yeah, they built all the churches and everything on top of them to basically mask out the goodness for us to keep for them.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, they suppress the energy that's coming out, and also through the people that go in there and the fear. Why they promote fear? Is to absorb that energy. It's a kind of energy they get from people. That's why they show in the news and everything. They want fear. It's not only to make us afraid. Is they absorb this energy somehow. And the same goes in the church. So when the people go there to pray and to chant and to sing, whatever they do, it also doesn't go in the correct where it should go.
Sometimes, though, have you thought about it? It's almost like we're living in hell then, because why would, like, if we've got this lovely consciousness which we should all have and care about each other much more and come together, if all that's really is there, then how come we're living in something that's set up so disgustingly?
Exactly.
It's almost like it's almost as if we're on the wrong side of consciousness. We're on the complete opposite side of where we want to be.
Yeah. So it's the opposite.
It's the complete opposite of where we want to be.
Yeah. That's it. There you go.
It's like we're in the wrong consciousness zone. It's like we've woken up in the movie and realised they're all drones and they're all this and like that's what the films are like. It's like we've been put in one.
Because nobody really studied consciousness and what it is. Nobody gave attention to that. And if somebody does it, they suppress it. They don't want it to show. Like what happened that time with Constantine. Really, they were nearly going down. We nearly beat them. That was our chance that time. And then the Renaissance was another chance. Okay, and now I think it's our last chance. So like we're nearly on the checkmate thing. Because if they make what about the chip? They start chipping people, microchipping. I mean. What do you think about that?
It's
I don't
horrible.
want it.
No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. But you never
Oh, you don't want to be microchipped, do you?
I don't want to be, no. I imagine they might be preparing to kind of consequences. Like if you don't accept the chip, and you can't buy
that's
any.
it.
And that might come in quite quick. It might be within a few years or whatever until they completely abolish money, that kind of sense.
Yeah.
And then you're trapped then because all companies use it, all businesses. So
yeah, everything will be there.
I think if everybody refuses it, then well, at least
that's what I have to.
Then we could still use currency between ourselves. I know I talk about abolishing currency altogether myself sometimes, but whichever's a bit against the system, I think.
It's really weird to sort of be in a place where it is like this is like everything they would call us is all wrong. They'd call us anarchists and stuff like that when it just means freedom, vital freedom. And it's like everything is just the wrong way round.
Exactly. Like I said, anarchy is a
Do you know how many people I've heard say, I'm ready to go. If it's my time, I'm ready to go home. They don't like it here. Like, I think what it is we're quite high vibrational beings. Well, generally, I mean, I know there are some people out there, but inside, but we're high vibration people. And so here is just not right. It's just so not right because we're high frequency. And nothing is set at a high frequency for us. It's all the wrong way round.
Materialistic. Bringing matter. Money, matter, all this.
Materialism, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, evolution, all the arguments. Yeah, they want to make us believe we have no soul.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Body, a piece of meat, and that's it. It's the opposite.
Yeah, I've been saying lately that they keep showing us all these ads about, or we keep thinking about what's happening to the animals. The only thing is they've forgotten to say that actually we're the animals as well. We're just a bit higher up the pecking order, that's all.
Yeah, they're doing it to us.
Or do you think it's just because once you wake up a bit, you become more aware of it, so it just looks worse than it was in the first place? You know, if we were all asleep, we wouldn't be looking at it the way we do now. All it's done is just made me even more sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more you the wiser you get, the more it hurts.
Yes, that's about right.
Yeah,
that's not good, though, is it?
Yeah, but pain, it's as I said the other day, pain it's part of life. You can't separate them. But suffering is optional. That's the difference. You're gonna have to face every day pain situations, and if you go through them, you face them, they will vanish. And if you run away from them, they will come back and they will look even more frightening. So face them like animals do. Do it like that.
Yeah, we've been set up. It's all in the wrong algorithm. Can't say it well. The word now. Algorithm. That's why I was just saying. I don't mean to sound defeatist here, but we're not living in hell, are we? This is hell.
Sometimes I do question that. Because like when you look at it, like what you have to go through, you know what I mean, as you get older, the loss of loved ones, and then what your own demise and stuff. And I think it's quite an horrible thing in a sense. And bad things happen to you, like emotional things and stuff like that. And I think like it's difficult to imagine how that's good for your soul. Well, you know what I mean? If we come here for these purposes to learn and grow and stuff like that, but we've got all these, bad experiences to experience as well. And I suppose, I don't know, maybe once we out of this and we understand the bigger picture, it'll make sense. But it's difficult to grasp that. I also don't think it's supposed to be like this either. I kind of think that's why we're doing this change. That's why the wake up is here, because it's not meant to be like that. It's supposed to be much better here, especially like how the world run, the system, the healthcare, all these kind of things, education and stuff. So
Hey, I got a thing I forgot to mention. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Whenever we are in a state that we are thinking about something which is we don't get the solution for, our brains develop which I wasn't very familiar with. It's called mental sharpness. It's the literal translation from Spanish. But whenever you are thinking about something like when I play chess with someone,
Kosta,
I tend to
so I can hear Kosta moving around.
No, it's overthinking something too much, and you're even to the point that when if you in that state of mind, you hurt yourself with you fall to the floor or you hurt yourself in your hand, you feel a release of that energy in your head. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Well, when that happens, there's a point in which helps a lot to ease your mind and to keep flowing. And the point is just put your hands in your ass. Just sitting on your hands, it releases your mind in a way which allows you to more aware of things and be patient to those solutions which do not rise and be more practical in a way. It works people. Have a try. Hands in your ass. That was it.
It sounds very simple after all, really, then, Paul.
Yeah, like flat earth, the things are more simple, and we tend to believe the strangest explanation of things, and the simplest thing we don't even look at it. Of course, we don't know many things, but if we are open-minded, we can find easy solutions, practical and awesome. Yes.
Yeah, well, I feel a bit more relaxed after listening to you now, because like you forget, don't you, in the pace of life, and you're quite a calm person.
It takes a lot of work, in fact.
I forget that I didn't have to rush around, and I just started to relax then, listening to your voice, because you're quite a relaxed person.
I just had a few hours of sleep just before the hangout, so that's why I am relaxed now and feel fine.
Yeah, are you getting really nice weather in Spain?
Yeah, we have beautiful weather now. It was very windy and it was strange that just in Easter, the same day, the wind stopped. Really like the 3 days before we had hundreds of 100 kilometers of wind, and just in Easter day it stopped like magically. It was wow. And we have good weather now. You know, the orange blossom, it's flowering now, and it's you are a bit drunk of it. I don't know if it's the right word, but
You mean
springtime.
something changed? Something changed the other day?
Yeah, I think what
About
I'm
the
saying is
change.
that maybe I'm suspecting that maybe what Crow 77 said the other day, that whenever you feel like notice a storm, or you have to ask yourself if it's natural or it's make
Yeah.
in way, make us know, here Easter is very strong. Like in Spain, people do this. They bring the statues of Christ and Virgin Mary, and it's very uh, ceremonial. Like a lot of people go. Probably you've seen in TV or something. Here in Spain, it's very dramatic. They try to represent, and it's even frightening to watch people with this Ku Klux Klan. Like people in the Ku Klux Klan with those pointy hats. They go on with drums, and it's frightening. And it's a lot of it's a very strong tradition here. Yeah, I think it comes from the Inquisition, but I don't know for sure. And maybe the
Can
wind
I
and
just say, I don't know if Costa's seen it, but I muted him because we could hear him. I don't know. He was walking around and making a coffee or something, and it kind of echoes, and then it kind of blocks out the person who's talking. So sorry, Costa, I muted you, but you'll have to unmute yourself to talk, just in case you were talking and thought no one's listening to me. It's because I had to mute you. But sorry about that. Yeah. So this stuff that you're into, Paul, you were. Oh, no, he's unmuted now, so I'm glad that you saw that. Sorry, Costa.
Yeah, no problem.
Was this with you as a child then, Paul? Like, because you're quite a spiritual
yeah.
person, aren't you?
Sound keeps coming and going. I can't. I haven't heard the question.
Oh, I was just saying that you're quite a sensitive sort of spiritual person. So has this been with you since you were a kid?
Yeah,
Child.
In my case, my father, he was an Irish, very Catholic man, and he brought me to church with him. He was in. We lived here in Spain, and he was the only man going to church, and I went with him, and it was some kind of um, an experience to thrive in a way, to grow, because there was not all that belief. Even though people are, as I said, very in certain times of the year, very traditional and doing these things in the street in Easter, like for example. But being like in this background, going to Catholic schools, uh, made me ask as I grew up if this was the whole truth, or how much truth there was in it. because you have to ask yourself if it's all a lie, and some things are good, but the whole thing, it smells fishy, as Jay would say. And well, here we are talking through the wires and trying to share the best we have.
Thanks for that, Paul. You're back. You're back now, Kosta. Kosta?
Another thing I
Can
want
you
to
hear?
know, if I'm allowed,
Oh, go on then, because Kosta's not saying anything.
it's the power of it in pyramids. Pyramids, made with sticks, just 8 sticks, making a pyramid at home. In my experience, I planted there some wheat plants, and the time they were inside the pyramid, for the time they had to show their sex. If they are male, you have to cut them, and what we want is to them to be female. And when I put them, I put 11 plants inside the pyramid, and all of them became female. It was amazing, and they grew huge. I've never seen such a thing. Huge. So pyramids really have something in, which goes far beyond our understanding. True. Very true.
Through ridicule, did you say?
No. Very true. Very true. It's a fact.
Oh.
We should live in pyramids. I mean, we are living in cube houses, like Saturn stuff, and we should live in pyramids. It's not all that difficult. There's plenty of space on Earth for each one to have its own pyramid.
We should all be living in pyramids. Lev, would you like to live in a pyramid? He's muted. I can hear a bit of feedback from someone.
Probably me. They're afraid to talk.
Yeah, you just turn it down though, Paul, because I can hear myself talking. Just Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. Just turn the live feed thing down, because I can hear myself. It gets recorded twice.
Oh, so I better this way?
Yeah, just turn the volume down. Oh no, it's still there.
Hello?
Hello, Lev.
You were cutting out, sorry. Were you speaking to me or?
Yeah, I was asking you, I bet you'd like to live in a pyramid, but I can keep hearing my voice being repeated, so
Yeah, it'd be cool. I saw a documentary on we've got these pyramids in America, like not pyramids kind of thing, but like a house designed in the shape of a pyramid. And that were quite expensive to buy, so the rich and famous tended to own them and stuff. But they did speak about how the energy flows in them, and I think they were designed for meditation rooms, like to have a meditation room at the top or in the center somewhere, kind of thing. And the energy flows or whatever, I don't know. So I think there's a lot in it in that sense. Like we spoke about how structures are built and stuff, kind of thing, and Astral had that little pyramid thing and he's put it above his plant and stuff, kind of thing. So yeah, it'd be cool to live in a pyramid.
I think we've listened to enough people to know that it would be good if you had your own pyramid, because actually they're so healing. They heal. Sleep under one. Astral sleeps under a pyramid, a small one.
So that's it. If the energy is flowing in that kind of sense, I imagine it would heal. Yeah, it's kind of like the crystal healing and stuff like that. It's a different vibration kind of thing. So a pyramid is like a concentration of energy. That's how I see it. It's like it makes it channel to an area, doesn't it, to one point. So yeah, it's more dense or more condensed, or I don't know how to describe it really.
Yeah, well, we've all changed our minds rather a lot, haven't we, about things probably in the last few years. Anyway, Kosta, have you enjoyed your first hangout?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. About the pyramids. It's a nice word. Pyramida in Greek.
Yeah, Jay would say we've got one in our own heads.
Yeah. You know what it means? It means fire. Pira means fire. That's like spiritual fire, let's say. And the same with experience. Piri. Again, you have the fire element. And the Ra, of course. Pira, the Ra of the eye of Horus, the sun god. So yeah, pyramids are very important. And I think they have some kind of energy pointing out into the high sky up high. Maybe it can go up to the stars. That's what they were doing with the pyramids, I think. And if you see the flag, you know the flag of Scotland.
Yeah.
You know the flag of Scotland.
Like blue with the white cross.
It's a cross, or is it a bird's eye view of a pyramid?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Scotia was a.
Well, can I say something very interesting? Sort of, it's not quite what you're talking about, but it's kind of linked, because you were talking about ley lines, and then somebody answered me on YouTube. They were going, I heard that there was some the ley lines were reflecting the stars and geometry above us, and I was looking for the confirmation of this. I'm still searching for more info on this subject. However, I heard that all the ley lines in the UK meet at Glastonbury, and they sent me a map.
There you go.
But I have to say that
So,
I couldn't say for everywhere else. Maybe it's the same, but the UK is covered in ley lines. Covered.
Yes. Definitely. And you know the Tor, the Glastonbury Tor, the small hill.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the line comes. It is called the St. Michael's line. It starts somewhere up in further down from Newcastle. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember the name. From there it comes down to Glastonbury, and at the final, I think it's passing from Silbury Hill as well. and there on the Torah, it kind of goes up. It goes up towards the sky in a, the Caduceus, the two snakes that make that Caduceus thing, or the DNA double helix stuff. So that at that point it goes up in the sky. So there's a very, very powerful energy there.
Hmm.
And you know the story that they say that even Christ came to Glastonbury. Do you know that story?
No.
No.
No,
With
no, I don't know.
Joseph of Arimathea. No. Did you hear about that?
No, no, I didn't hear about it. No.
So Joseph of Arimathea was Christ's uncle. Yeah, they were related, and they say when he was a child, he came to England to Glastonbury because this Joseph was a tradesman. He was buying tin. He was buying tin from England and from that area, especially Glastonbury, all the Dover and all down the southwest side, down the bottom.
Yeah.
What is it called?
River cliffs.
Dover.
Dover.
No, not Dover. What's a place called, a tourist place?
Cornwall.
Cornwall, yeah, so Cornwall. I confused. Cornwall. So all that area has a lot of tin, and they used to sell it to even down to Jerusalem, all that area. So there was a big route. So they were coming through France. They were exchanging the tin from there, and Joseph of Arimathea was the guy who in the Bible it says when Christ was on the cross and he was about to die, when he died or something. And he was the one who gave money to Pontius Pilate to bury his body, to put him in a tomb. It says his name in the Bible. So that they say that, yeah, he passed on there, and the first Christian churches were around Glastonbury. The Glastonbury Abbey was the first one. But again, this was, I think for me, is another part of the story to make all these temples, theirs, to destroy them and make the Christian, build a Christian religion. And
Yeah.
and especially the
Can I just say, Kosta, that can I just say that Jay's joined us. Hi, Jay.
Jay, where
Hello.
are you, man? There he is.
Hi, Jay.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a bit of an echo. I do think that it's I think it's Kosta who's doing it. There's just this feedback coming through.
I changed my headset. I put my headset.
He's taken his headset off. Maybe you have to just put it back on.
Can I add one little detail to what you just said about Christ and all the symbolism? Is that okay? Your name is Kosta?
Yeah.
Kosta? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you mentioned tin, right?
Tin.
Yes. Tin is the alchemical metal. Yeah, it's a metal for Jupiter. Every planet has one. And for those that want to decode the symbolism of religions, every orb has a metal. I'll just briefly say it very simply if you research it. Jupiter is tin. Saturn is lead.
Okay.
Of course, the sun would be gold. If you've already said this, pardon me, I just wanted to dance with you. But Jupiter is an important one because Jupiter and Jesus and the word jete, a ballet term. I teach ballet. In etymology, they all dance together. Yeah. Sorry for my echo. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's Kosta, I think. because it only doesn't echo when he talks. There's no echo, so I think it's him.
But can
Costa,
you hear the? Yeah,
Yeah,
but can
he
you hear the
needs to
words
mute-
okay, clear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you clearly.
If we deal with
Costa-
chemtrails, we're okay with an echo. So yeah, Costa, I just wanted to say thank you for your information. And the alchemy is really cool because when you say 10, I can come in and possibly help to dance with you and what you said. So thank you, sir. I yield the floor.
Can I just say
Yes,
that,
yes.
Costa, while you're
Nice.
not talking, you might have to mute yourself because it's echoing through the whole hangout. Everybody's talking. It gets recorded with an echo. Is there any way you can? That's it. He knows how to mute. Cool. Thank you, darling. So I think Paul said hello to you, Jay.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm fine. You, Jay? How are you?
Doing great.
No, just here.
What'd you say?
Around.
Ah, great. Wonderful to have you, man. The mudras.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've just been talking. Costa came on because he wanted to talk about Constantine, but that basically that, you know, it's a story, the whole thing, but, you know, it's just whitewash to cover up what's happened to us. And he just wanted to come on and share his flat earth with us.
Cool.
And then I thought it was quite interesting, Jay, because actually we now have an American in the house, but we're actually a European panel tonight, not an American one.
Well, you know, it's funny. The word American, I mean, it hides all cultures. In America, I'm sorry if there's an echo still. I can hear it, but hopefully you can hear me. In America, you have
Costa,
Ari.
you have to mute yourself.
Can someone maybe mute? I'm sorry. I don't know who it is. Pardon me.
It's Costa.
There you go. I think. Okay, is that better? Maybe? Okay.
Maybe it's not Costa. Maybe it's Paul. It's one of them.
Shame on
No, it's
you
not.
and your mudras. No, you're fine. Yeah, in America hides, Ameri is Ari. Ameri has A and R and I. Very simple. The way you can do it is Ari or Aria is the goddess. Aria means air. So when you say like Maria in etymology, you see the A and the R and the I. Ameri is really Aria, and that relates to Ireland and Iran. So stop fighting because your Druids and your Middle Eastern people are all connected in etymology. And then Can in American, Can is serpent because Khan or Kohen means serpent, like Leonard Cohen or Khan in Vietnamese for the snake, hence your Kundalini symbolism. So it's America, it's all of us. All of us. I yield.
What? We're all one.
Sorry, Karen?
We are all one. If we remembered that we are all one.
Yeah, that's it. You know, in basketball, they say, and one, when they're playing on the street, right? Because that's what we are. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So is it hello?
Hello.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
Costa.
Is a K a letter for the serpent? Yes?
Yes, good man. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I just researched the
That's
K.
it.
Thank you. Because I can tell you something about the symbolism. In America, we have a famous gas station called Circle K. Very famous.
Okay.
You see a circle
Circle.
and a K. Why does that relate to all beings on the planet? The K stands for kine, K-I-N-E. That's a cow. That's your Taurus field.
Yeah.
So when you go to the gas station, they're telling you that it's the serpent with the bull because Venus rides the bull. He rules Taurus, so she's the circle around the K. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
We do it in pop culture all the time, brother. Like we have so many hidden things, and it's cool when you know what you're seeing. Because when you go to your gas station or to Walmart, cartoons, you have more information to sort of, hey, that means this maybe, you know?
Yeah.
There is that feedback going on though with someone, and we can hear, and when it's recorded twice, Hangout has an echo in it.
I think it might be consistently Costa's mic. I think it might be, I don't know though, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, when you're not talking, Costa, mute yourself, if that's okay, darling.
Okay.
Sorry, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Costa. Yeah, it's gone now. Sorry, Costa, it was you.
It's only whilst you're not
Yeah,
talking.
it was you. Go on then, Lev. You want to say something?
So it was me.
It was you. It was,
It was me.
And there
Okay.
it is again. There it is again. Lev.
Yeah. I will,
Go on then.
yeah, I've said the same thing as you, basically. Just, yeah, you're fine. You just mute your mic whilst you're not talking, and that's all I'm gonna say. Like, but I was trying to think of something else then, but it was Paul was saying earlier. What it was now. But it triggered one of my thoughts, and was something I got taught in Kung Fu about reading between the lines. And it's like when people are talking to you, they've got like what they say, and then they've got an intention behind it as well. And so, like, trying to think of an example. I can't think of an example. But people do, they say things, and they've got what they actually want behind the words. Oh, that's what it was. It was talking about. I still don't know really, but I remember the other thing that I thought of, and it's like how people wear a mask. You know what I mean? When they present themselves, everyone seems to wear a mask, like the face, and like for example, a couple could have had an argument, but they're going out to a dinner party. So they go to the dinner party and they put the best faces on to present themselves to everybody there, and you know they keep the dispute in, you know, behind closed doors and such. So I wish I could remember what Paul was saying earlier, but it is relevant towards it. So like how people hide the face and say things differently to what they mean. I don't know. It's useful for critical thinkers in the information and stuff like. But yeah, we'll get back on track. I'll yield the thought for the time being, I think.
Fine, man.
Unless is that you want to say what I'm towards what I'm saying, I don't.
I could build on what you just said if that's cool. I don't want to hog the mic. If anyone else wants to, because I know it's not my.
We've lost Paul.
I'm sorry?
Carry on.
Oh, Paul. Oh, wow.
Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
Love to dropped because it would have been relevant for him to hear what I was saying, so he could have jogged my memory. Or it would have jogged
was it about mudras, Paul? I'm sorry, Levkungfu. Was it about the hand things he does, or maybe Kung Fu, like the hands, like
talking
maybe
about the energy in your body, how your body's got like ley lines or meridian lines, you were saying,
right.
and stuff, and chakras. And then he went on to Summit, which made me start to think, and I started to think about like how people wear a mask and how people say things which aren't actually genuinely what they actually mean. Like people can ask for things like in a more of a crafty way, you know what I mean? I still can't think of an example. Like someone could ask to come round to your house and expect dinner making, and actually coming round and saying, "Will you make dinner for me?" You know what I mean, and stuff like just examples like that. But it's a weak example, really. But no, go and build on it, Jay.
Yeah, no, I think what it sounds like, what you might be saying a bit is like, for example, there are many ley lines on the earth, right? And so the ley lines are definitely aligned, hence your alignment with your body, right? So that could be good or bad, right? So maybe, right, if you're in a certain part of the world where you have ley lines and Freemasons doing rituals during the season, that it might seem like you're in a good place because you're on nature, but because someone knows the rhythm and the lines, that you're actually being lied to. So in a sense, nature could be used as a mask. And I wanted to build on the word mask. Persona means mask in Greek. So when you're a person, or personally speaking, you're speaking from your Phantom of the Opera mask, which would be the Eye of Horus. I'm a dancer, so musicals, I get them all now. The rainbow multicolored dream coat, the rainbow colored, that would be Quetzalcoatl. Sorry, I'm not trying to jump, but she's a rainbow serpent Venus in Mexico. So we even have these symbols there. I would say there's lots of masks Kung Fu for sure. There where people, I mean, even artists might not even know what they're doing, and they play the role and they do all the, you know, the makeup and the music or whatever it is, politicians, and they go outside, they go into it, and then they're in a ritual. They don't even know it, right? And they're personifying this fake mask essence. Yet there is something about being a mask where you can be fake, but still be seen as real. Because if you're good at acting, right? If I can sing and do opera to you with these symbols of masks and stuff like that, maybe you're cool with it. Like Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and the masks and the little, you know, occult sexual scene they have where they do bad things, but whoop, got a mask on. So maybe you can watch this and be okay with this and not ask any questions. If anyone else wants to build upon being deceived, I'm sure plenty of people on this panel have been deceived or whatever. I've been deceived. I'm still being deceived right now. I'm graduating late from this university because their ego is their mask. Ego is geo for the earth, by the way. I've come to find out that I'll be graduating in August as opposed to May because the chair or the stool of my committee, nothing personal, did not know that things changed and the rules were different. So he gave me wrong information. And instead of saying sorry, right, and being humble, it's, oh, just don't worry, get through it, graduate. Wear your mask, like Levkungfu was saying. Just wear your mask and, oh, just deal with the pain. Well, I'm sorry. You all believe the earth is a ball. I'm sorry. You all believe Einstein is brilliant when he said that ether is bullshit. And that's my mother that you're denying. Ether is my mom. So Einstein is slapping all my moms in the faces. So I'm tired of it, really. There are people in the truth movement who are wearing masks too. Yes, they are. They seem like one thing. And then if you happen to have your own unique, I'm going to say it again, your own unique way of expressing yourself, it makes people feel uncomfortable. And it's okay, because I thought that truth was about coming together and sharing and not being intimidated because I love everyone's solar plexus and I want them to connect the dots so they can be their own truther and not wear a mask anymore. Any thoughts on that? Maybe? Anyone?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I started to think about like when I was researching the narcissist and stuff like, and a narcissist doesn't like to be exposed. So like the narcissist is the kind of person who wears the biggest kind of mask, and
yeah,
and I think that's probably like the best example I could come up with, really. When it comes to wearing masks, because I also noticed that not everybody wears such a mask. Some people wear like a big mask, big colorful mask, you know what I mean, and stuff, and they'll stand out, you know what I mean, and stuff like, and they're creating a persona and they'll put a lot of work into that. Whereas some people don't put so much effort into their persona kind of thing. They're just natural, and if they're natural, it's not even like they're wearing a mask, you know what I mean? It's kind of like they've got a hat on maybe, but you know, maybe not at all, maybe. So yeah, there's a contrast.
Yeah, you can also be emasculated, mask mother, ma'at. Yeah, she would be the one that's good at hiding. Amen means to hide. So when you say amen, you have to know what the word means. It's true in Egyptian or Arabic. It relates to hiding. It's not a bad thing, because when you're playing hide and seek, you're going to the womb of mama. You know, you're a masquerade. Why are they raiding your mask? And then your Gatorade, masquerade, raiding your consciousness. with false personas. There was a movie called The Mask with Cher. Cher is Che, is chi, anagram for your sexual fluid Christ. Now, I'm not saying there's evil people at all, but we should look at our movies, yeah, in detail. The Walking Dead. There's a zombie burger food chain down the street, Zombie Burger. That's a mask if I've ever seen one, where they're showing you, and they have a picture of a person with blood coming out of their mouth, and it's a burger. And then, no judgment, by the way, meat eaters. I used to eat meat. I'm just saying, be careful, because they're laughing and they're wearing those political masks. You get your KFC guy, ha ha ha, he's wearing a suit and he's white beard, yet he's giving you poisoned fried chicken. Your food should not be fried necessarily. It should be natural and conscious, so you can be a battery up here. That's why half the world has a hard time knowing what etymology is, which is okay, but etymology is a real beautiful thing that is more important than the diction in your airy, because diction is how to pronounce the word, not its diversity. Let me say quickly about etymology and how it relates to us very, very, very quickly. The reason why what I do with etymology is important for everyone to get into is because of this. It's like this. What it does is when you go to the website and you see one word, you will notice, for example, if I type in Jesus, which is cool, you're going to get Jupiter right away. You're going to get Jesuits. You're going to get all the J sounds. And then you might get a D, like a drum, or it starts to morph. And here's where it's beautiful. This is where it relates to us. We get many different versions of the human body. See etymology as your human body. You see, I have a head, 2 arms, 2 legs like you, but you have a different color, an accent. You speak a different language. Then that person speaks a different, and they spin off of one word or one idea of consciousness. So what your etymology is doing is it's showing real diversity. Whereas at university, their version of diversity is, oh, we want some more Black people, but we don't know how to talk to them, and just deal with it, monkeys. And oh, most of them dropped out, great. And one made it. Oh, they got lucky. Yay, now we can brag because one monkey made it. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me. I'm living this life in this university. They are all over the place, poor things. And they have more money than me, but no consciousness. They're stressed, bags under their eyes. So if anyone, I want to encourage you. I'm seeing people making more money than half this panel destroy consciousness and not even know it. And they don't even say sorry because they don't know they're doing it. It's normal to them. Thoughts, Kung Fu, on that? You want to build, or anyone else?
I started thinking about, like, you said, like, the difference between people. You said, like, we've got a head, arms, and all that kind of thing. If you've got, like, this is slightly going off subject in a sense, but
okay.
If you got because it sounded like a like difference between humans. Is that what you expressed? But also,
yes,
in the same sense, you can do this like with most of them anyway, not all, I suppose. But if I drew like hang on, let's go with this. I've already drawn it somewhere.
Ooh, diagrams, cool.
He's looking for his notes.
Like, how do you put thing on? How do you switch it? There.
Ah.
Has it switched? Can you see
There
that?
you go.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Just pull it back a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, there we go. I can see now.
Yeah, I see
So,
it. Beautiful.
You've
Yeah,
got,
man, I
like,
see it.
a skull, a backbone, shoulder blades, and hips. What animal is it? Or what human is it? Is it a human? Is it an animal? Or is it a fish? You know what I mean? Because these are the same things that we've all got. From there, we can draw some arms, or we could draw some legs and put hooves on the end. All got this 5 extended shape kind of thing, like a starfish.
That's beautiful, man.
So it's almost like cannibalism in it, to be eating meat and all that kind of thing and stuff like that.
It's a very good point, man. That's probably one of the most important things that I think a lot of people struggle with. I struggled with my diet for a while, and because your mouth, your taste buds. First of all, bud, they're so smart. Bud is what flowers do. Your thalamus means receiver of the flower. So if I have taste buds when I'm eating something, it's blossoming a concept. We'll put it that way, but it's blossoming death when I eat the wrong thing with my taste buds. And if I'm only living on my palate or my taste bud, that might be the wrong flower that I'm sniffing there. I might need to know my flowers and my plants, because some are poisonous ivy. And we get IVs when we get sick in the hospital, and then they give you some Pepsi Cola while you're struggling with diabetes for your hospital lunch food. How? And then our family members are there mourning the one dying, and then we see them passing them shitty food. And that right there is the elephant in the room of rituals that have been killing us and poisoning us and confusing us for years, man. Totally. Talk about a mass. The hospitals, not saying all doctors are bad, but we have to rethink that whole thing. It's very unfortunate for many sick people who are trying to get healed, and they're being given fried fish, potatoes, starch, all processed.
Yeah, some of them get ill in the first place. They were told they were ill and put on loads of drugs. We don't even know how much of all that's true. Yes. I mean, in the 80s, dentists told everybody to eat out to make money, and then make people my age with just full of fillings. But no, there's nothing wrong with our teeth.
Yeah.
They just wanted to make money.
We don't need to use fluoride either necessarily. Yeah, we can use herbs to do it. Yeah, you're right. Yep. And is it a coincidence that that mask sounds an awful lot like your task force? Now listen to this. Now, when I was young, I was given chores and I was given tasks to do. What's your task today? So what is the task force about, really? What are they representing? What mask are they? And I'm asking questions. I'm theorizing here. So yeah, questions.
Hey, Kosta, do you want to come in and say anything?
Yeah, I was about to do it now. About the mask theme, I like the word you said that a person in Greek is the word means a mask, and you're right, because person is a prosopo in Greek. It means it's like the face, the front of the face. It's called prosopo, which is a mask. But there's another word for a person. For example, if you go to a theater and you ask how many people are in the room, you would say, "Πόσα άτομα έχει το δωμάτιο?" Like, how many atoms are there in the room? Okay? So that's a very strong point. I think atoms, we are atoms, atomic energy beings, blessed. We have our fire inside connected with the divine, and we're trying to press down, they're pressing us, because they know that it cannot come out. This fire, they cannot take it out, but they are trying their best. I don't know where to get the information from, where they visualize this stuff, but they know they can't do it. I think they know it, because it's in there. And we'll be much better off like this, together, sharing and talking and advancing through their tactics. If we see what they are doing, I find, for me personally lately, I see everything the opposite way, and I find the truth. And I find it easier in my life. I don't have to struggle a lot, to finding. It's becoming obvious. And what Christ is teaching, what does Christ say in the Bible? Be like children. Be like children. That's it. If I walk in the street and like start jumping up and down and do something, I'm considered crazy. So what I don't get it. I don't get it. Because this was done to me at some point in my life. I remember myself, I was full of energy, climbing trees and talking with everybody. I have a lot of passion with life. And at some point, it brought me down after all the indoctrination in the school and all that. But now, lately, the last 4 years, I think I'm getting back. I'm getting back the light. Yeah. Thank you guys. You help me. We help each other.
Thank you.
That's the way.
Could I dance with what you just said about the child from within? That's beautiful, man. Oh, I'm so grateful for you for saying that. That's the most conscious thing I've heard all year. Because I teach children in ballet. I teach the 5 elements to them because in ballet there are 5 major positions, and you have 5 elements, and you have 5 geometric shapes. So here you are, a little child with a teacher who's showing you the earth is a cube. The earth in geometry, everyone knows you have to know it's a cube. So how the hell is it a ball? You have water, air, fire. And the thing that Einstein said isn't real. You have ether. So you have little babies saying ether, and they don't really know what it is, but they're saying these words and they're playing with mama, the nature mama, right? Not just here's a block, here's some candy. Now go over there and draw a picture and all that's kind of okay. I'm not hating on every teacher out there, but what they don't give the child is the freedom to think with nature. I'm teaching at a dance studio, Kosta, that this is really ironic that you mentioned that because they have a ballet studio and it's brilliant. Attached, they have an elementary school. I was like, wow, the first time I've seen, a ballet studio. And in the back, they have kindergarten, right? But what's funny is I've been teaching there for 1.5 years, Kosta. I've been teaching the 5 elements, right? But because they got mad at me this year, they got mad because I could not commit to subbing to substitute teaching. I had something else to do. They got mad at me. So when you get mad, you start to change how you feel. So now Mr. J's 5 elements are mumbo jumbo. We went from, oh, we love nature and it works and everyone loves what Mr. to you did not come on time and teach my diva dancers to be awesome. And now the elements are no good. So now when she sees me, it's fuck you, you're evil, but she has not watched any of my classes. She hasn't watched one of my classes. The director with the elements in her back studio does not want the 5 actual elements in her dance studio. And when she's telling me that I have an agenda, she's told me this, that you have an agenda. Yeah, my agenda is to make sure you don't have girls throwing up in the bathroom with anorexia because all you want is a spinning, skinny, beautiful, white, blonde, perfect dancer, which is not realistic. The first body to exist was not skinny. It was voluptuous. It had milk. It was hippie. It had thick hair, armpit hair. It smelled like nature. It wasn't using soap operas. And it was playing the imagination, children's imagination, Kosta. When I asked them to make their own dance, I say, go in the corner. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you do what you want to do with the material. And they always come back, Kosta, with the most beautiful choreography. And they're excited because I'm not telling them what to do and giving them orders and controlling their imagination. I'm letting them do it. That's not me. I give that to Venus. That's Venus's wisdom. That's not my ego. I can't take responsibility for that. Give Venus to you because I'm supposed to. But other teachers say Venus is not real. Oh my God, the stars and Earth is dirty. You're going to get germs. You're going to get sick. And then the sun, you're going to burn your eyeballs out. You can stare at the sun. You can do it. Rising till setting if you do it right. So, and can I say one more thing about your name, Kosta? because you have K in your name, right? Kosta. Here's what's cool, right? I'm going to show you in numerology what K equals. So really quickly, so I don't want to hog the mic, but if we go here to numerology, this can help people to see. When you scroll up here, you see that K equals 2. Now, 2 is a symbol of the feminine. 1 is masculine. So if you want to know what letters mean, my people in the chat room all over the world, here is how you check numerology with the letters. And this is how I get messages from my angels. So if you ever see your name, you know, if you see a letter that's cool, just simply type in, hey, letters and numerology, you'll get the K. Now, back to Kosta. Osta is Ostara. Ostara is Easter, is Esther. So Kosta is Ostara, is Venus hiding within you, expressing herself in the way she's supposed to. I yield the floor, man. Speak, or anyone else, please.
Wait. My name is Constantine. It's not Costa as a short. And my surname is Constantinu. So Constantinos Constantino.
Like continue.
Whoa.
Like continue. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
And
That was it. Whoa.
wait. And about the
Please just go ahead.
numerology, you hear me now? Yeah. I have to make another presentation next time. I have to show you the Greek numerology because it's different from yours. Okay? Because the Greek numerology goes like Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, it's one line until 10, okay? And then it goes from 10 to 100, and then 100 to 1,000. So it's more complex. But I have to make another presentation and tell you about the word tragedy, song. You remember Santos said this word tragedy, a tragedy. I have to make another full presentation on that. That's very, very important. I have a lot of information for that, but not tonight, another time. But yeah, numerology is very important. It's very synchronistic. It's definitely big time. Thanks.
Hey, can I just say that we've been going for 3 hours now. I know that Jay hasn't joined that long, but you can always talk on the after hangout. Sun and Moon's not here tomorrow anyway, it's a Wednesday. My son is getting married on Thursday, so Sun and Moon is just taking a few days off. We're back we'll be back on Sunday. So yeah, we're not here Saturday, we're not here Wednesday. I've got this wedding to go to. My middle son is getting married. And then, so we're taking a few extra days off this time. But it's been really interesting. It's nice to have some different people on again. We've had so many people on lately. Thank you to Paul and Astral. Thank you to Levkungfu, Patricia, to Jay, to Kosta, and to everybody in the chat room. Thanks, everybody, for listening in to more people talking. So we'll be back on Sunday. Oh, thanks very much, Goldfish. Yeah, it's a wedding in the globe world, isn't it? Oh dear. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, it's lovely. My son's really happy, so that's the main thing. Anyway, it's thank you from us. Anybody want to say anything before we go?
No, I'm happy. Thank you.
Can we say we're
Jay?
dancers? It's been a long time. I love.
Oh yeah.
I'd love Kosta to say, because Kosta is a dancer, man. He's a dancer. So Kosta, what we do, on the count of three, we say we are dancers together.
It's a song.
No, I go one, 2, 3, and then we just say we are dancers. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. So 1, 2, 3.
We are
are
dancers.
dancers.
Yes. Okay.
Yay!
So dance. Dance
Thanks,
is
Joe.
horos in Greek.
Like Horus.
Horos.
Like Horus. Like
Yeah,
Horus.
yes,
the-
yes.
Yes, man. Thank you for that. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I hear you a lot saying Greek words. That's why I wanted to join the sun and moon to speak out sometimes, because I try to send messages, but it doesn't work. I have to speak out. Yeah, horos, court. You get court, horus. It's quite a few words. Horizon, all that comes from court. Horodia, the chorus, the choristers. Yeah. It's all
Beautiful, man.
the sun rising chorus. You have that horizontal line. So that's where you get all the chorus, chord. Yeah. And then horos,
Beautiful.
dance is all the chords together making their move. Yeah. Nice stuff.
And then you have choral.
Yeah, the choral. Yeah. The choral of the beach on the, yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Costa, don't leave the hangout. Say goodbye on the after hangout, and then you can talk to Jay for a bit longer. But again, thank you for everybody in the chat room and the Echo and everybody on the panel.
Thank you.
See you Sunday.
Thank you as well. See you Sunday.
Later.
Bye, everybody.